Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood 592 roller latch. The 592 is a heavy-duty roller latch that you're going to see on commercial grade doors, commercial weight doors, doors that are 100 pounds, that sort of thing. Very standard design, these two sets of springs, top and bottom, okay, white nylon roller. The 592 features what is called with 161 strike, which is really just a 2 3/4 T strike. We call it a T because it kind of, if you use your imagination, looks like the letter T. It's going to be, the strike's going to be 2 3/4 tall. Okay, going to have your 1 1/8 width there. Your dimension from the lip length is going to be 1 1/4, which would be typical for this. Yeah, maybe 1 5/16, but it's measured from the center of the hole to the edge of the lip. Okay, about 1 5/16. 1 1/4 is standard. There's a link below this video to the product brochure, which shows this item and its sister items, and you can review that for additional information. Okay, there's a link also below this video to the template, and if you want to review that in a moment here, we're going to go over it. The overall height of the faceplate is 3 3/8, as you can see, with the width of 1 inch. And overall depth of this body looks like it's 1 3/4 per the template. And while that's not, forgive me, the overall depth of the item itself, not given on the template, looks like it's about 1 9/16. So mortising for this, and the template now is going to get, please review the template at this time. These are installed when you're doing a 161 strike or a T strike like this. That means it's typically going to be in the edge of the door where you would otherwise install a standard lock. Okay, you're probably going to have, pull plate or dummy trim, okay, or flush poles or some sort of hardware. This would be installed in the edge. Okay, mortising for this is going to be a two-step process. If you're doing one and you don't have a router, well, I suppose you'll be doing this by hand with a hammer and chisel. That's not the way that I would prefer to do it if I was going to be doing the job. I would want to use a router. I'd actually have two. I'd have a plunge router that's going to set up to give me what we would call the body, which is going to be the dimension from the underside of the faceplate all the way back here, and then the width here. And and what you're looking at there on the template is your 2 1/4 mortise height. Rockwood saying give a pocket height of 2 1/4, and this material here is about 2 1/8, looks like. Yeah, so you're going to have a little bit of play, and then a pocket depth, as we said earlier, of 1 3/4 from the face of the door all the way back. So keep in mind that we're really just talking about the body, so you're going to want to make sure that you get the depth correct. Then with and you would use that with a plunge router most likely because of how deep you have to go with like a 2-flute carbide bit and a template fixture, you're going to place on the edge of the door so you can put your router in. Okay, then you'll do what we would call the plate, and that would only be the 3 3/8 by 1 inch wide by 5/32 thick, okay, plate, and you would just skim for the plate, and then you would square out the corners using a corner chisel, a specific chisel made for squaring out corners, and that's how I would go about doing that. I suppose if you're doing just one, sure, but if you're doing more than one and you have a reoccurring need to do these, it's really worth the investment to set up and get all the right tools for doing it, meaning routers and fixturing for the edge of the door or top of the door too. This could be used at the top of the door, although this strike is probably not the most common for the top of the door, but nothing precludes it from being used at the top of the door as well. Complete adjustability on these two springs by the settings on the screws here in terms of how far out that roller is going to project. And obviously those screws aren't going to project because those would be tightened down. That's how I'm just emulating getting the roller stuck out, and that's going to tell you how much friction you've got. I have had people in the past complain that these are loud, and you do hear them snap open and closed. That is true, and that's just a fundamental of what you're dealing with. So understand that these will give off a small amount of noise. Well, in over 20 years, I've only heard that complaint twice. and I was very suspect of the origination point of those complaints myself. Available in several different finishes on the website. Available with three different strikes. You can see that in the link to the template. It will call out the 591 and the 590 along with the 592. That's just going to change your strikes, but your body and everything else will be the same. If it's a Rockwood item, it's synonymous with good fit and finish, with good quality, with good customer service over at the Rockwood facility, and good people backing it. Screws are included, a combination wood metal thread, so you can get into whatever kind of situation you're doing. And that's it. If you have any questions on the Rockwood 590 roller latch with the 161 strike or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.